It's 25-21 though. Don't know if we're quite going to get there. We'll have to wait and see as we head into Dust2, third map in the series, third map in the grand final of DreamHack Open Summer.
And it's going to be sick, Jordan. I'm excited to get into the action. I haven't actually casted Dust2 since the doors have been flipped. So
You've been waiting for this moment.
I have. And it's coming to us in the granny. I'm very, very excited indeed. And let's see where AVANT decide to go, because Renegades have chosen to start on the CT side.
That is interesting, especially given what we just discussed. I have actually thought that Renegades looked a bit better on the T side of Dust2 when I've been watching a few of their games. So, yeah, look, maybe they feel a bit more comfortable on CT. Maybe they want to save their stronger half for their second half. I don't really know what the methodology is behind that. But either way, they've gone for CT side, and that has, in the past, not quite worked out for them when they've started on CT. Be important to get the money rolling, flowing into their back pockets early on in the piece. Not too much of an explosive pistol round here in Dust2. We've seen some pretty explosive ones in this series so far, but this one's a bit more cool and calm.
No, it's pretty thorough over towards long. They did do a boost over the awning there just to make sure no one was hiding their little head behind the car there at long. Malta. Good timing on that nade, but unfortunately a little bit too deep. Throws all the utility he possibly can. Justify some time for these rotations. No one on site, and that's a nasty one to kick things off.
It's a good start. Malta might have one of those maps if he can continue to keep that up. Blitz is all the way into the B site though, and he has caught Hats off guard. That's a problem for Renegades, but the real fight is happening on A. Dexter, 2 kills, now 3. Headshots, all of them. And there goes the round. Blitz, despite getting that frag over on B, is not going to have any more impact than that.
Not even get another kill. Ince stops him in his tracks, and look, the lurk was great, except the rest of his teammates had already fully taken that A site. So, bit of a slow rotation coming up from Blitz. Tried to get one, tried to get more than that, but unfortunately just too far away, and the bomb's not going to be planted for him either. Kit in the hands of Sicko was more than enough, and some beautiful kills there on the retake coming up from Dexter. So, round number 2. Let's see what AVANT decide to do with that bomb plant. They've just gone for the Deagles, no armor, and able to buy into the third round regardless. Looks like we are going to see Hazard just sitting in that smoke at long, looking to just be a bit of a nuisance. Maybe catch some extra timing. Smoke fading though. Dexter unfortunately flashing himself as Hazard cannot land a single bullet there at long. It's awkwardly going to be putting himself straight in between a rock and a hard place.
That is a scary thing to roll around the corner and see. Sicko's also copped a bink. He's down to 6 HP. Dexter's going to have to try and help him out, but can't really. There's a fire in his way. Malta's continuing to put that good work in over towards the top of mid, actually, this time. He's pushed out of bedroom. Bomb plant does go down, though, for AVANT, so they've achieved something in this round. And Hugh has been dangerous with the Deagle. There you go. How many more? None from Hugh, but Sterling might line him up. There goes Hats' head, and Dexter's very close by. Looks like Dexter not too happy with how that round has panned out. Let Sterling know what he thinks of that. But it's a win for Renegades.
You saw that one happening after he got the first headshot. Dexter jumping up onto site. There was a little opening, but what a shot from Humongous as well over onto Malta. So this is Malta's journey this tournament, is every time he has a chance, he just gets destroyed and is not given any opportunity. But he's still here, and he's still putting in some decent work for the team. So let's see if Renegades can close it out 3-0 here and start off map number 3, 4 technically strong.
Sterling's trying to be pretty quick. He gets across the blue bin. I don't know that he was spotted there. Inns and Malta, perhaps aware, but Malta posthumously will get the kill, but not sure that's how he really envisioned that going in his ideal world. Still, 1-for-1 trade, could be worse.
Pretty crazy 4-man stack coming out from Renegades over towards long early. Looks like they are going to throw that all back over to the hands of Sicko, who didn't have it this round. They actually managed to salvage that one back from Sterling, who fell at the blue container. Now it is going to be some util thrown here on short, maybe just trying to draw out some extra rotations, but AVANT, it seems like they are going to be heading towards the B side.
Bomb's still sticking around on short, but Hazard's going to start working his way across. Hats with only an MP9 on the B-bomb site. Doesn't have any smokes, no mollies, nothing to delay. Just one flash. So he might actually be quite happy to see this rotation from AVANT headed back in the direction of A. Of course, he's not aware of it at the moment. And he leaves the most of the work on to ins, and he's just blasted out of the server by Hugh. Sicko will have to activate Sicko mode here because he'll have a few headed in his direction up long, but this is the perfect angle to play from with an AWP. They're getting close. First shot goes the way of Hazard. That is clean indeed. Still having to deal with Dexter, and they do. They're across fine. That was just some fine shooting from AVANT. Not really too much I think that Renegades could have done. They were in the right spot at the right time, but just some brilliance from AVANT.
That was some really good mid-round calling coming out from AVANT. You know, just going back to long after not showing presence there at all, getting a nasty shot onto Ints, and then Hazza firing up again, just hunting those heads. And the whole time this was happening, you had APOC there, just freely standing out in mid, didn't spot any rotations, managed to grab hats at the end. So AVANT, they're on the board nice and early, as Renegades are just back on the pistols.
How many times we saw Renegades back on the pistols on the CT side of Nuke. I wonder if this is going to be an all too familiar sight for them. Sicko saved down to the USP, looking for an AWP later on in the piece, but the rest have invested into armor. Deagle, CZ, Dexter trying to get something fancy happening outside of the bedroom. This is looking a bit too easy for AVANT at the moment, just creeping their way up onto the A bomb site. Mostly Hazard doing that. Alta's caught out in the middle of nowhere.
Slots that one straight over the CT smoke. Hats as well, finds another. And now there's an opportunity for Renegades.
Yeah, maybe if Sicko is able to survive against Hugh, but I think here in a 2-on-3, In's not very much HP. We're unlikely to be seeing too much happen. Hats has got himself an AK, so that's an upgrade.
The thing about this tournament, though, Jordan, every time I see Ints alive in the 2vx situation, I just never write anyone off anymore. The amount of crazy plays I've seen with pistols is just bloody ridiculous, honestly. And it could have happened again, but it is going to be AVANT equalising here. 2-2, nice and early, getting a bit of a wriggle on, starting to speed up that momentum.
Money is pretty bad for Renegades, so they'll have to save again. Hats with an AK. I wonder if he sort of gambles and does something a bit silly here. Or, I mean, I say silly, you know, I guess in a situation like this, anything can kind of fly. Does he push the B tunnels? He is the B anchor. Or is he going to take that AK somewhere else? Perhaps expecting AVANT to think that the AK will be towards the B side. In fact, he has gone over to A. No, he hasn't.
He's hidden in that
B. He's in that stack.
Yes, the stack of blue over towards the B site. 4-man stack indeed over that direction. And Malta has a big, tall task ahead of him, and he's going to come tumbling down.
That's pretty rough for Malta, you know, when he's having a tough time in this tournament in general, and he's been given these kinds of roles where he has to just sit on the side himself with the USP. The rest of the team goes rolling in, and everyone else on Renegades is like, oh, well, I'll just save my guns. I'll just, you know, save my stats. Don't worry about it. Malta's here just getting smacked in the face over and over again. But that is what it is, I guess, sometimes. That's the job. And AVANT find themselves a pretty clean one. If they can go through with the AK from this round, I think Renegades will be fine. Won't be too concerned.
Oh, surely. But look, AVANT as well. No casualties here on the anti-eco. That is something they are going to be very happy with. The Ints tried his hand at taking one of those rifles down to the ground, down to the grave with himself. But there it is. AVANT out into the lead on the T side, 3-2.
Been pretty impressed with Hugh so far here on Dust2. Seems to have really started to get the ball rolling quite nicely for himself.
Well, it was interesting to hear that he's actually been a bit crook the past couple of days, so hopefully he's starting to feel a bit better.
I think he is. Just based on what we're seeing in the server.
That's it. The
I'm
focus
no doctor,
certainly there today.
But, you know.
But if I was,
that would be my diagnosis. Big presence over toward long this time for AVANT. This is like their first full execute out. I think Sicko's caught Hazard. And Inns is going to continue to look for more. Hugh behind the blue box, and APOC gets sprayed down as well. That's much better from Renegades. From us, even in Malta's hands, going to work.
Whoa. But Blitz, he's been on as well this series. Let's see if he can salvage the 1v4. Bomb is going to be left over towards bedroom for the moment. As Renegades, you can see they're rotating, just looking for any information. You've got Hats over towards the back of tunnels there. And Blitz is just hunting, looking for any extra damage he can get. If he gets one more kill here, that'll be nice because, you know, Ince has 1900 in the bank, everyone else down on the triple digits. It's going to keep their economy very low, but there it is. That's will find the lurking Blitz over and upper dark, and we have an even game again. 3-3. Oh, he actually spotted the leg there coming out from APOC on the side of the smoke. I thought he just went for that spray transfer blind. Osman Eagle, this man, he's got good genetics. He does, I tell you. Very sharp eyes.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa,
well,
Mr.
Sterling.
Sitter.
He does have sharp eyes. He spotted Dexter, that's for sure. But the aim, maybe the execution not quite on. Dexter lucky to survive here. So it's Dexter taking the secondary AWP today for Renegades on Dust2, which is interesting. Got a few secondary AWPers in their back pocket, but none mighty enough to stand up to someone like Sterling.
Ooh. APOC just completely forgets to check the corner, and Hats is going to punish AVANT for the double. In swaps to his sidearm for whatever reason, and that'll be his downfall. But it could have been so much more. Malta pushing straight through bedroom, all the information in the world. And again, Blitz going to be left in a 1vx scenario, not able to get anything. And it is going to be Hats to find him again. So triple kill for Hats here in round number 7 to put another on the board for the Renegades.
That's really just disrespect from Renegades, isn't it? Pushing everywhere. They push out of long, they push out of short. And AVANT not prepared for it, no one watching the back. Hats did a great job as well, to be fair, getting the first frag onto APOC and then, particularly the second onto Hazza. That's great work from him.
I think it's just complacency, though. They've expected Hats to be playing over towards that B site.
True.
Because that's where he's been, so no one playing close to doors, but the one round he does, Hats gets away with the 2K. Well, Hazza straight out long is going to cop a huge amount of damage as he makes his way into pit. Now Blitz just trying to get some free damage, but Renegades get away unscathed.
Another contest on long. I mean, it's not a super big contest from Renegades, but definitely a place of the map, part of the map even, that AVANT are putting a premium on. Sicko's in a good spot. He's been quiet so far on Dust2, but this will be his kind of a round. A few players having a look in his direction, but the smoke is going to stop that molly from forcing him out of position from behind the car. So far, nothing more spotted. Playing the whack-a-mole game, just bouncing his head up and down, seeing if he can be a little bit sharper than his opponents. Hugh's going to check the corner again. Probably still expecting Sicko to be hiding behind car here, and he's forced away this time, but Inns still remains in the corner.
Oh, it spreads.
It just spread. Really looked like he was going to be okay, but now Inns is in trouble. And it's on to Dexter. Hold the A-bomb site. He's got the backup a little bit more so of Malta. Grenade will go through, but it's too early. No one's across just yet. Good patience from AVANT, but a hole in the smoke, and this is Dexter's chance to strike, and he does. APOC down early. Malta's got one jumping shot from Dexter. Doesn't connect. And Hazza will punish. Hats, though, catches Sterling in the back. It's one-on-one. Hazza, not very much HP at all to play with here.
Needs to try to get offside. Oh. One bullet will do it, but Hats, the reaction of a damn god, saves the AWP across as well. And that's going to be another for the Renegades as Hats comes in on the flank. He's done God's work.
Yeah, big round for Renegades there as well. This is going to force AVANT back to a poor economic position. They have Sterling at 3,200, APOC at 35, Blitz at 33. So 3 guys that aren't going to be able to afford AKs. And it's likely going to be a save round for AVANT here, which is going to put Renegades one step further ahead. We questioned what they were going to decide to start on, CT or T. What was the better option? And the theory was that T side would not be a bad choice for Renegades. But AVANT see them over on CT side, and now Renegades start to build those numbers up. It's a better looking CT half than what we've seen in the past from Renegades on Dust2.
deep smoke coming out from Hats. You could see that he really wanted to test tunnels there, but deciding against it this time. As AVANT just waiting the smoke out now. Hugh, he's on the Glock and he's going to be the first victim. Hazard tries to trade, but that's the bomb down in the entrance to the tunnels. That's going to be awkward to retrieve now. Molotov as well.
Man,
it's just Hats. He wanted the ace, but Dexter puts his hand in the bowl as well. And that is going to be a solid anti-eco coming out from Renegades to double the score of AVANT.
Honestly, not sure that I'd be too keen on challenging Hats right now. If I'm AVANT, I'm looking at the scoreboard right now. 12-3, I'm thinking B-bomb site is not the site that we want to be going towards. Problem is, Hats has been quite mobile. He's been in mid as well, so you can't just sort of angle away from him. And to be fair, AVANT haven't had that much success on A either, so it really seems like a case of out of the frying pan into the fire. But Hats is on a bit of a tear at the moment.
Epoch. Who's ready for that? No one is ready for a Dexter running low at dark. That is just full BM, full confidence coming out from the Renegades. And this display is, again, just giving them everything. Molotov not going to spread enough, and it really almost works for Sicko, unfortunately. The glass window is not enough for cover there. Hugh will find him. Malta's put himself in a precarious position here. His blitz at the ready. Not enough. Malta gets away with that one, and it's a 4v1. Humongous. He'll have to ace it to win here, but that bomb as well. Look where it's sitting. Just straight here with Suicide. And it's just a matter of time until Hats comes in on the flank. He's stayed silent. Hugh has no idea. This is about to be a 7-3 affair.
Now Malta just causing a bit of a distraction here, giving Hats that extra time. And I don't know what happened there. Maybe Hugh heard something. Either way, not fast enough. He does turn around, though.
Sometimes the shift jump still makes a little bit of sound, so could have heard something. I thought that Hats might have wanted the knife, but it's the rounds that count, and keeping that economy in your favor is a huge advantage, especially on the CT side. So,
definitely
not playing silly buggers. Renegades just with the 4-round lead, and it looks like AVANT are going to test the long defenses again.
Time and time again, they've headed in his direction. This time, once again, Renegades are ready. Fly is not looking very good for AVANT. It's a hero AK for Hazard. So far, no success from that. They haven't managed to make their way out mid. It might just be a contact play. No utility at all. Not even the mid to B smoke. It is thrown down now. Molotov behind it as well to stop Renegades from pushing through it, but it's not going to stop. It's Dexter on the B-bomb side. He doesn't have the backup of Hats, but he hasn't been checked just yet. Now spotted, quick enough to get the one kill onto Blitz, but somehow AVANT have really just sort of waltzed their way into the B site. Hats going down earlier on was the premium kill. And now Renegades tasked with a 3-on-3. AVANT have upgraded their weapons, and all of a sudden it doesn't look quite so easy anymore.
A solid couple of entries. This will all come down to holding the push from tunnels here. If Malta falls without finding anything, could be in trouble. There it is, Sicko forcing the peak from the back of Platt. Now, big kills coming up from Hazard. Needs to go for the 3K. It's him versus Malta. Malta, can he pick it up right now? He needs to, knowing the position of Hazard and reacting appropriately. There it is, and he's got himself the kit. He's got this defuse off with a second or two to remain, but there it is. Successful retake, and Renegades stack on another.
8-3. Almost worked for AVANT. The hero AK. Got to give credit to Hazard. He did good work with it, but it just wasn't quite enough. Tactical timeout now for AVANT, and a fair bit to chat about. They'll have to do similar to what we saw on Mirage. They were at a deficit in the first half on that map. They were able to claw their way back to get the advantage going into the second half. Not going to be possible this time for AVANT. They can only get to 8-7, but from here, 8-7 would be a phenomenal scoreline. Renegades, on the other hand, really looking to grind AVANT into the dust here. No pun intended. This is the chance to finish the series off here and now. Make it a quick night. Get to 10 or 11 on the CT side, and then make life easy for yourself in the second half.
Which would be a shame, because I'm excited to watch a bit of overpass.
Yeah. Don't get to see too much overpass anymore.
No. Many teams just not really huge fans of the map. Look, Renegades will find long for free. Untested. But this time, looking like they might just try and make their way outdoors or up short. Smoke there. Looks like they're going to go short instead. And it seems to be the path of least resistance, but with full long control, Sicko able to play it car. Looks like he's going to change up his position and try to get some info early, but the cross has already happened from Avant, so he'll be forced to drop into CT on the shot here.
Yeah, I don't know that Sicko's going to be caught off guard, though. Smoke is going to mean he'll have to reposition, and watching for the feet is what he's doing underneath that smoke at the moment. That is just perfection from Sicko. The flick onto Hazard, he had no idea, but reaction, intuition, game sense, call it what you like. He hits the shot. Hazard, 8 HP, leads the charge. He'll be the first one to fall if Sicko hits a good shot here, but can't repeat the magic. And Avant are onto the site.
Not sure what's going on there with the smoke on short, but whatever it is, it's enough for Humongous to get the bomb planted for short as well. And they've got full control, 4 men standing around elbow here.
Double
One
or
deep into
retake.
short. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Certainly is. Hats is going to lead the charge. That flash is not going to connect onto Blitz. It's a 2-man stack, and both are dealt with. Hats can't put a foot wrong now. Headshot onto APOC before he falls, but APOC goes one better. Dexter and Hats down. It's a 1-on-3, though, for Hugh, as the long take has been successful for Renegades as well. And so will the retake be. 9 on the board for Renegades, and a decent round in terms of keeping the economy alive for them as well. Not too costly. 3 guns down, but that's fine. It was a full investment from Avant. And Renegades keep putting one foot in front of the other.
And look at that. It all comes down to that second solid flash. The first one obviously dodged by Avant, but as they spun their heads back around, they weren't expecting the second, and Hats. Him and Dexter at least fell to APOC, but because no one from Avant was able to slide their way back over towards short, they had to fight from Gandalf, had to fight from elbow, and it just did not work out. So solid retake coming out from the Renegades.
Doesn't seem like there's any stopping Renegades at the moment. Malta. He's seen APOC, but he's also been spotted as well. Cops are looking for his trouble, but he's okay. He's back on out. Another slower round again from Avant.
Well, Avant just realized that there wasn't a huge amount of anything really stopping them from taking this short control, from making their way to the A bomb site. Renegades, if they're not playing short, they're playing long, and they are happy, as you can see, to play for the retake. They know exactly what they're doing. They're fully set up for it. This time Sicko might just try to contest the push coming up elbow, as Avant go for the mid-round hit. Looks like the first smoke was just to bait out some extra utility.
Not going to be an easy challenge either way. Sicko with the AWP is always up to it, and missing that first flick looked like it was on for me, but I guess it's just not quite 100%. That is what Avant needed to get the bomb plant down. Again, it's a 5-on-5 retake. You think about how methodical and clean it was for Renegades last round. And off we go again.
Difference is they're going to be coming in through CT. Ince finds the bank, but 2 players now so damn low. APOC and Humongous trading that out straight away. Back to the 3-on-3 we go. Dexter just dropping out some extra utility. The nade doesn't quite hit APOC. It's just Sterling to cop a minimal amount of damage. And that's going to be another one found by Blitz. Now Sterling peeking up. It's going to be Sicko last alive. He's held long for so long, but it's not enough. And there it is. Avant in the post plants keep 3 alive and stack a 4th on the board.
Big round for Avant, keeping themselves in the discussion here. They might be able to push for 6. This round is going to tell us a lot. Look at the money that Renegades have got at the moment. It's not going to afford them a fantastic buy. And they might even just look for a half buy here. So they're content to give it to Avant. They're content to give that 5th over and battle for 10-5 as opposed to try and go 11-4. It's the lower risk, lower reward kind of play from Renegades. But it's what you would say is the percentage play. The one that's the better decision most of the time.
Look what they've done here. Renegades, they've stampeded straight up mid. They know that Avant have really not been I guess, gravitating towards that B side of the map. So Renegades straight away cut it in half, try to do what they can here just with the pistols. They've at least found one, causing a bit of chaos. Sicko solo over towards that A site, unable to find anything else. But it's Ince and Malta. Ince might have an opportunity, but Malta certainly does not. Head taken off here. And Ince just trying to use the cover of the molly. Might just opt to go for the gun that Blitz dropped instead, but Humongous and Sterling both looking to keep his mitts off of this one.
Not going to work out too nicely for Sterling. Wouldn't want to see AVANT drop too many guns here. I think they'll get a good buy through regardless. Not going to matter too much. Yeah, they would have been fine. So, 10-5, 9-6. Those are the options. Sicko can afford himself an AWP and a bit of util. Or the armor, depending on what he wants to go for.
Looks like it's the Kevlar instead. Double AWP, Dexter picking his one up as well.
Honestly, I don't know about that double AWP. I mean, I'm not necessarily one to say it's a better or worse decision, but I think you do lose a lot when you don't have Dexter on the rifle.
Looks like Sterling's been spotted going to blue, but he's going to be doing the spotting himself. Humongous comes through doors, and that's enough to crack open long, but Dexter's still here and looking to fight. However, AVANT rerouting back to mid.
Maybe it's Sicko's opportunity here with the AWP, but they are headed back in the direction of Hats. He's going to need many, many frags here.
Ooh.
They almost lined up for him. I think that probably is the round. Sicko, maybe a spam through the smoke here. Might get a bit lucky with a shot and a kill, but 5-on-2, retake the B bomb site with a double AWP for Renegades. I mean, I honestly couldn't think of a worse position to be in as Renegades in this final round.
Let's see what they can do with what they've got. There is a rifle retrievable. Let's see if Dexter goes for that one. Just clearing out mid doors quickly. But it's Sterling up on the scaffold. APOC ready to peek on the contact. This is a deadly setup, and they'll find both very quickly. It's going to be 9-6 at the half. Renegades leading by 3. Let's see what AVANT can do to maybe get back into the game. But we've got a second half to get to. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the second half in a moment.
It's 9-6, favouring Renegades heading into the second half of Dust2, and this might well be the final map of DreamHack Open Summer Oceania, at least based on the trajectory that Renegades are operating at. If they continue, it's going to be a pretty quick half. Pistol round all important for AVANT in getting off to a good start. CT side on their own map choice. The match is not over, but Renegades are definitely looking like the better team right now on Dust2.
And AVANT really need to get back into the game if they can find this pistol. It could be 9-9 in a matter of seconds, but Sicko is not going to expect the aggression here at mid early. Hats just trying to win with the inaccurate Glock at long range, and that one has not worked out. But AVANT now, one-man advantage, starting to head back towards the A site, push through tunnels. Blitz is aware that it's not going to be this B hit, so AVANT, can they put a stop to this one before it comes through? But Ince is close.
Close range angle for those Glocks. This is not a fight you want to be taking against Renegades. Ince is farming up a storm at the moment. Sterling, though, has some answers of his own. 2 for 2, but it's 2 on 1. And Ince will continue to challenge. P2000 in his hand now, and the pistols looking good for Renegades. 6-10.
Ince with the pistol ace, and that is
really?
a great way to kick off the second half for Renegades.
I didn't even realize it was an ace.
Yeah, you just killed them all.
Yeah.
He's just farming. There you go. Another on a short, another on a Sterling, and then the final one at long as well. Shooting them like ducks. AVANT, they've actually bought up into the second, really hoping to go toe-to-toe for round number 2 of the half. Full control. The call from Renegades, but that's a rough position for Hugh to be in. APOC falling as well over towards mid, and it's just Hazard and Sterling now.
Jeez. Demolition. Just no problems at all from Renegades. They're keen to walk forward and kill everything. Hazard, he does well to hit the flick. Sterling actually able to finish off, but it really doesn't matter too much. Dexter dropping. You still got 4 guns alive here. Renegades happy with that, knowing that they're going into another eco round as well. Goes from bad to worse to even more difficult now for AVANT.
Round 18. It looks like it is just the full save. 1 flash for Sterling. And AVANT looking like they going to be stacking over towards mid. No. 1 flash mid, maybe. Not even that. Just looking for any aggression. It's going to be the 4-man stack at long. 1 flash to send the troops in, but Ince is just ready and waiting. Nate as well to isolate Hazard up on the wall. That is some next level utility usage and a great way to shut down these pistols. Blitz, he's only got 4 kills so far. Could double his kills if he finds the timing, but the shadow reveals his position.
Look, I think that was a bit ambitious. If he finds the timing, he might get 4 or 5 kills this round. I think he needed a bit more going for him than just that. Ah, well, it's going to be the gun round for AVANT. This is what really matters. Pistols by the wayside, anti-ecos, what have you. It's always going to be tough once you lose the pistol to do too much. But double AWP setup, everything's thrown in here. AVANT, a must-win round.
Renegades get to 13. It will be starting to tip that seesaw a little too far, I think. And Blitz finds the first, almost a second, as straight out mid. Hats overextends, unable to find that trade through the smoke, but Dexter's already out on the B site. Hazard had no idea, but still reacted perfectly. And AVANT, here we go. It's a 5v2. Surely they do not lose from this position.
Well, we did see AVANT lose a 4-on-2 at the end of Mirage, and that is about as good of a start as Malta could have hoped for. It allows him onto the A bomb site. Now he'll need to do more. Hugh's been spotted, but APOC wasn't. It's just Sicko now, and he's way too far from the bomb site to trade Malta down.
AVANT have his number, and there's the timing. APOC with a solid round. 2 for him, 2 for Blitz, and that is going to be how AVANT find their way back into the game, but they need to string these together, Jordan.
Not a particularly damaging round economically for AVANT, though. That is one plus side, obviously the other plus side being that they've won the round and they're still in this discussion, but That's the kind of round that AVANT needs to win a few of to build this economy up. In fact, I'd say they probably need to win another 3 or 4 in a row like that before we start to get the sense that actually maybe AVANT can do this. For now, it's still very much securely in the back pocket of Renegades. Goodbye through 5 AKs, and they charge out long. Hugh has let someone through the smoke, but Inns just gets a little bit over-eager and walks straight into the crosshair of Sterling and Apoc. So does Dexter. That's not gone well at all for Renegades. Not expecting that kind of a challenge from AVANT on long.
Now there's the issue. Hats, he's last alive. He has no control of the bomb. He might be able to get a flank coming through here, but trying to get past 4 of these AVANT players is a bit too much to ask.
Look, you're going to give Blitz the chance with a pistol in a 1-on-5. If he gets the timing right, you're not going to give Hats much of a chance when he even has an AK full HP and he's 19 and 10. This is just some caster bias.
And he's got full utility.
Yeah, absolute caster bias.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
It's because Hats plays Alliance. He is not part of us Horde scum. But he's going to try and show that Alliance is the best, unfortunately. Blitz is there to put a stop to him.
What does this anime speak?
Wow.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Again, not a hugely damaging round for AVANT, but the money's still not too great for them. This will be the one where they can run away with things. Dexter's decided he wants to invest into a scout, so he's feeling a little bit sharp with the scopes on this game. I can tell he's continuing to push towards that. Orps a few times on his CT side, now a scout on the T. Maybe trying out for the awesome scout squad.
Whoa.
And that's a pretty good tryout.
It's a good application.
Now, does Sicko check Apoc? If he walks through the doors here, P250, definitely doable at that close range.
It's like Hazard. Going to get his mitts on the AWP and try his hand at it as well. Straight to the back of Platt.
Renegades really, at the moment, just waiting down that utility. A bit invested by AVANT, but they've still got plenty left. And there's one of them thrown in. It's going to force Sicko. Oh, yep, he's been tagged by that. So he was hoping to get away with it, hoping he didn't have to move past Xbox, but eventually the spread does get the better of him. And that's a perfect grenade. Right at the feet of Dexter. Sterling with an AWP. It's a 2-man peak, though. Malta with a deagle. Dexter with a scout. Is it going to be a run boost? No. Yes? I'm not sure. It's going to just be maybe a 3-man peak. Totem pole 3-man peak. Run boost. Yep, it is the run boost.
It's the human flashbang. Sicko closes the distance and it can't quite find that gun.
If it wasn't Dexter, it was going to be Sicko.
And he's found the timing, but unfortunately Humongous will just flick around at the right moment. Dexter falling. Just a couple of Glocks a deagle remaining, but it looks like AVANT seem to have figured this one back out. And it's up to Malta. He goes a bit too wide. Tries to have... Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like it was going to be way too close for AVANT, but in the end, it's kind of like just comfortable. Like, they just easily won the round.
Well, imagine if Ints has not a Glock there.
Yeah.
Then he wins that fight at long.
Or Hugh doesn't turn around.
Ifs and buts. But we are where we are, and there it is. 12-9 AVANT. Doing a very good job now. But some cracking shots to open up that A site.
Yeah.
Where do we see Renegades head from here? Looks like a few towards upper dark, trying to go for a bit of late to mid control. Boosted over to check out short there, Sterling. Happy just to hold a passive angle. Apoc backs off from the doors at the right moment as well. Not going to be forced out by any Molotovs. And Hugh in pit as well. Full control of long. But going one on short, one on long. Sometimes isn't the greatest decision.
It's a great trade.
Why. The thing is, the trade works out for Dexter there. But if AVANT had 2, then AVANT come out of that laughing.
Well, they're not laughing at the moment. Molotov's landing all over the site. Dexter decides to slow things down again. Renegades, true to what we saw from them yesterday, they get a bit of an advantage, they open things up, and then they just slow down a little bit, try to cause their opponent to come to them, and in this instance, that's worked out. Hazza overwhelming Ins, though, was probably not part of the plan. In the meanwhile, though, bomb did get planted, and Hats is on a bit of an expedition. Might get the timing right here. Blitz has made some noise. That's a free kill for Hats.
Oh, is it
no,
really?
It's not. He's completely whiffed it. Dexter's dead as well. Oh, dearie me. It's been such a good map from Hats. 20 frags, 13 deaths, but that's not one that he'll want to relive.
It's been a solid series, but just when they need it most, that was a point when it really could have done huge damage as well to AVANT's economy. And they've missed the mark. So now AVANT really looking like they're about to get back into the game with that bomb plant and the round loss bonus. Renegades deciding whether to buy up into this one. They certainly can. They will have to suffer by not having the full utility. Won't be able to really get an AWP in the hands of Sicko unless he wants to go for the glass cannon. That could be the play. But Sicko, if you have a look at the scoreboard, hasn't been performing here on Dust2. Only 7 and 15 at the moment.
Which is strange. It is supposed to be an AWP's map.
Well, that's it. Great reaction from AVANT just to storm up mid and take that control as they knew they lost short. They knew they lost the A site. And it's just Hazza fragging up a storm on the retake. Round 23. And there it is. Renegades going for the bite. Sicko going back onto the rifles. Full utility. Disciplined decision, I'd say. Blitz with the AWP over towards B as well, but Ince with a nasty entry onto Sterling there through bedroom.
Yeah, well, it's never going to be an easy task for AVANT, even if Renegades have fallen back into a bit of a lull in the last few rounds. This is a good spot for Hats to play from as well. Blitz, it's a tough one to check with the AWP. But he does get the aim duel. That's the second time, 2 rounds in a row now, that Blitz has gotten the better of Hats when you really thought that Hats might be the one to pick it up.
Just hits him with that crouch peek, and Hats was certainly not ready for it. Blitz, great reaction to bring it to the 4v4. Now it's even standings again as Renegades start to send their way through short. It's just going to be some nice progressive flashes to get them around elbow. Napop on the timing. He does, but it costs the life of Hazza as well, coming in through CT.
One plant goes down again. Hugh on the retakes has been very solid. Much better day for AVANT here on Sunday. Sicko has seen him though, and he's cleaned up APOC. Now Blitz in CT with an AWP. You can't expect him to have a huge amount of impact with that gun coming from that angle, so it's going to have to be Hugh. And he's already gotten the first, but can't do too much on the second. Dexter gets himself a double kill, 13-10. Renegades have forced AVANT back onto an eco. Now things get difficult.
It looked like Sicko was really feeling the nerves there. Maybe he's a little cold. Because that was some shaky aim. I know Sicko is usually one to have some very solid mechanics. Anyway, in round 24, AVANT, they're taking this time out, making sure that they can regather themselves as Renegades stack on another 3 rounds away from becoming your DreamHack Open Summer champions.
Back-to-back champions as well. They won spring. So 2 tournaments in as many months for Renegades. If they pick up the victory here, then you consider there's Road to Rio as well. And they'll be looking to pick up ANZ Champs and ESL 1 Cologne in the near future. Can be a big month for Renegades, a big year really for them as well, despite the fact that they haven't been able to go overseas. It just continues to reinforce the fact that they are the #1 team in ANZ when they're able to clean sweep tournaments like this.
Well, Renegades have managed to get out long scot-free. AVANT trying to go for a nice little setup here over at elbow, just waiting for someone to walk into 3. Combined crosshairs there on long rather. Doesn't seem like Renegades are going to fall into the trap this time. It's going to be a deep CT smoke coming out from Malta. 2 up long, make it 4 actually, with Ince happily lurking away over towards mid here, just trying to control the rotations. Blitz close range at lowers. Let's see how the timing goes for him. Here's the jump up there on Xbox, but he's going to be spotted. The angle's just favouring Ince in the situation, and he's going to be tapped away at Hazard, unable to find the head. And Renegades trying to make their way onto site. Humongous, unawares that this long push was coming through, and it's going to be Hats. Just giving out free haircuts. 2 for him, 1 for Malta, Ince, and Sicko, and a very clean anti-eco again from Renegades.
Tell you what, I would take a free haircut these days. They're getting expensive.
I'll do it for you.
All right.
I don't trust myself with scissors. Hopefully you can.
I was actually hoping for the clippers, not the scissors.
Oh, all right, all right. I could probably do that. Sounds safer.
They've seen 3 crossing to be here. There was no smoke from AVANT. Malta checks the close angle as well, so that's already a fair bit of information for Renegades. They know what's going on at the moment.
Oh, and Sterling. Shot baited out with the flash. Spotted the elbow as well of Malta. That's going to be short control for Renegades now. No casualties yet, as AVANT have not got full control of long, but Humongous. He needs to play a close range angle with that MP9.
That's deciding that he doesn't want to play close by the pillar. And again, doesn't seem to matter where he is over toward B in the tunnels. It's just not working for him on that side of the map. The rest of Renegades, however, will be making their entry in toward A. A pop flash through the smoke, but this is exactly what I think of when I think of AVANT playing on Dust2. It's Sterling sitting at car, watching players try to make it onto the A bomb site and just dispatching of them one by one by one.
Well, if anyone can do it, it's big man Dexter. Unfortunately, this time he'll be shut down. Couldn't take a man with him. And there it is, 14 on the board for Renegades, but AVANT trying to come back into it. They've got 11 now. There's still the chance to win in regulation, but they need a perfect map from here.
Never an easy task.
And AVANT getting long control nice and early. Uncontested, Renegades seemingly just looking for a more patient approach. Let's see if Hats can do it. What's 5th time the charm here in Upper Dark now? Whatever we're up to. AVANT just keep on finding the better of him. And at the perfect moment as well. But it looks like it's not going to be any aggressive play this time. AVANT have Hugh in pit. Full control of long from him. 2 facing over towards short. And the mid control will come from Hazard here. Up at the window at B.
Sterling. Posted and ready. And that's not really what you want to see if you're a Renegades fan.
Oh!
But that definitely is. Sterling gets impatient. Patience is a virtue, and Sicko has that in spades. Smokes it down right now for Renegades. It's caused APOC to walk forward. Malta's just going to wait. Again, the patience from Renegades, but have they waited too long, Mac? 30 seconds left on the clock. Not that much utility left for them. They're going to have to speed things up, but they've caught APOC. No man's land. Perfect timing. Discipline from Dexter. And it's all on to Hugh. With an M4 at this range, it'll be tough. But he does tap away the head of Dexter. Still, Renegades are onto the bomb site. 3 on 4 for the retake, and AVANT are not going to be feeling too comfortable about this one.
What's the call? They're backing away. They've already made the call to save. And Hats is going to hear everything here over towards B ramp now. That's the info they need. Hazza spotted, crossing through mid doors. And it might be an AWP and M4 carried across. And with the money in the bank, maybe APOC can buy himself. Blitz and Humongous can drop here. But Renegades, they are putting themselves on championship point.
They might just be able to do it one map quicker than they did in the grand final of DreamHack Masters Spring. Silencing
Certainly
any of the questions.
Looking like it at the moment, isn't it? And I was going to say earlier, if you have a look there, up on your top right, Nuke was 16-13, Mirage was 16-12, and the numbers just keep going down. So I was going to say, oh, is it going to be 16-11?
Maybe.
And right now, seems to be the situation. AVANT taking the second last tactical timeout, trying to figure out how they want to play this round. Because Renegades just caught them off guard. If APOC left his position at elbow, got back to sight before that smoke faded, we might be in a different situation right now, but he was hoping for an ambitious push through that smoke from Renegades, but it never happened.
It's not a very fun buy to play with in this kind of a round for AVANT. Deagle on Hazza. APOC and Blitz only a FAMAS. Utilities missing. And Renegades are looking to get this one done. They're looking to clean it up. 16-11 would be a nice scoreline. Dexter already starts well, and Hats follows the leader. It's one after another. AVANT have already lost two. I don't know that they can dig themselves out of this situation. Blitz also down on 10 HP. Situation continues to get worse for AVANT and much better for Renegades.
They've got to do something here. Dexter, he fully has realized that both of those CT players were over towards B ramp, and he's going to be making a huge amount of noise, but Hazza still fully focused on mid. This is potential for a pick. But Dexter just waits that smoke out. Hazza, which direction will he look? Dexter's fully aware that the B site is completely empty. Now that's going to be Hazza being spotted going back to B ramp. Dexter in the corner, and Hazza cannot react this time. It's a 5v2. Jordan, I think we found our winners.
I think so as well. Sterling and Blitz, the hopes of AVANT holding onto their shoulders. Inns is locking down the rotate through mid. It's just been a routine round from Renegades. Find a couple of picks, take some map control somewhere, find the next mistake from AVANT. And they've just won the round off the back of that. Sterling, he's managed to find Inns, but it costs him a lot of HP. There's a boost. Sicko, I think, might have seen Sterling, maybe not. Either way, they're going to drop off of the totem pole. Time is just running out for AVANT here. Sterling and Blitz have to do something, but at what point are they going to be able to? Blitz is still creeping through the upper tunnel. Oh! Sterling fighting hard. He's gotten Hats. Dexter watching. What is that? Dexter, what is that? 2 kills through the smoke to finish it off. I don't know about that one. Hopefully we get an interview with him. We can ask about it. Either way, that is going to be Renegades, the champions of DreamHack Open Summer Oceania, going back-to-back with DreamHack Open Spring.